The president mentioned it, but
street.
Mr. Rwamtemba, what I'm saying, isn't it unprofessional to interrogate a bleeding man who you know can die anytime without...
Yes, he's given a rank of SSP, but he's a body. But
so they are succumbing to our pressure because they are failing to give us a report which you're concurring with.
It's panic.
Who is panicking?
The government is panicking.
Who is forcing them?
You.
Very good morning, all our viewers. Thank you so much and welcome on our show, the Youth Frontliners. We are here live and kicking. We just thank God that in the last bomb blast, no one among the crew was affected. It's a blessing to Almighty God. So we thank you so much, God, Heavenly Father, for loving us since last time we've just met today. The Youth Frontliners are here live show in Uganda, and we are seeing ourselves there in the next there, and we shall be there. Here they are. Let them introduce themselves in just a minute. Who think he can introduce himself first?
Good morning, viewers.
You man. Go on.
Good morning, viewers. My name is Anis Rwamtemba. I'm a youth frontliner. I'm mostly profoundly honored to be on this show, on our weekly show. My heartfelt condolences go to the family that lost their beloved ones in the twin bombings in Kampala. We hope things stabilize and the country comes to normalcy. Thank you.
Next to Mr. Next.
Good morning, our dear viewers. My name is Mutes Anita Mugabo, and I'm also part of this Youth Frontline program. I want to also talk about those people that were affected with the twin bombings that happened on Tuesday this week, even the Kampala blast that happened on 24th. May the God comfort the families that were affected, even the injured that are in the hospitals. May God be with them, and we hope the situation is going to stabilize with time.
All right. Next to me.
Good morning, our viewers. My name is Richard Tumsime Waligayomo, a legal scholar. We've had a hectic week, a sad week, and a very terrible week, as I can say. But my heartfelt condolences go to the people and the families that lost their loved ones in the twin blast bombings that took place in Kampala town, at CPS, where we lost some security officers and civilians, and then those ones that we lost at Parliamentary Avenue. Most of them were law-abiding citizens and good citizens of this nation who add value to our nation. But we pray, and I pray as a youth frontliner, that God comforts those families, and then the culprits be brought to book and be made accountable of their evil deeds and acts. I'm so privileged to be part of this program, and I pray that whatever we discuss, government picks a leaf out of the discussion. Thank you very much, and may God bless you all.
Yes, the farmer we have in the house.
Yes. A cowardly act occurred in Kampala earlier this week. My heartfelt condolences to the families that got injured. To those that have injuries and in hospitals, we pray you get recovery. As a youth frontline, I would love to encourage the youth that it is never the end. To encourage the youth that the God we believe in, the country that we are in is safe, and everything will normalize.
Okay.
My name is Lodrick, a youth frontliner. I'm privileged to be on this show.
Okay. The Youth Frontliners Welcome to the show. And today's programs or topics are quite many, but we shall stick to those that are quite very important and sensitive, whereby we need to guide and help one another to advise the government where necessary. My question is, how safe is our nation?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. I would like to say, to a certain extent, as a nation, we are safe and sound, because between me and you, we still have lives and we still have a voice. So it is upon us to now ensure that we are more safer. I want to say that whatever happened last week was a wake-up call to the government that we need to tighten our security nuts.
You see them? You see them?
That our security is a little bit somehow lagging, and then government should really work on that. My point runs to, for example, the cameras that are manned in this whole Kampala, the central region, the heart of the nation, the city that everyone looks up to. I happen to have been in town when that blast went off. When the first blast went off, I could have expected the security agencies to be on alert and be conscious of everyone. Let it be me, let it be you, let it be any other person. Because critically you realize that when the first blast went off, it took like 3 minutes for the second blast to go off. Our question lies on, were our cameras doing their duty? Were the people manning the cameras taking position at that moment?
But were they on duty by then?
That is a question we are asking government.
Okay.
Because if they were on duty by then they would have seen anyone. For example, the place that was attacked, Second Parliamentary Avenue, is a very serious security sensitive place.
Okay.
That all security officers there have to be conscious. Remember, there we have officials. I can vividly say that this person who blew the bomb at Jubilee Insurance, his target ought to have been Parliament, but he failed because of the security. So if our security was a little bit tightened up like the security at Parliament, then maybe the person who took off the bomb would have taken out of action. Because I'm very sure if our security officers or officers were on alert, they would have seen someone who was a little bit unstable or unsettled to take off a bomb.
Okay. Yes, to my extreme left. What do you think? What does it mean when you see the bomb blasts happening, taking place in our country? What do you think? What could be the sign, in your personal opinion? What could be the sign to the nation or to our leaders? What could be the sign?
I think maybe those people performing those acts may not be in some way satisfied with what is happening in the country.
That's one.
Yes, that's one.
They are not comfortable with the peace.
They are not comfortable. They are not comfortable in the country. They feel the kind of life they're living in this country is not comfortable. Because for someone to be for someone to be a suicide bomber, that means that person is hopeless. He has given up on life, and so he thinks, maybe let me take my life with the lives of other people who may be living the same state of mind as mine.
Okay, those are the people who have lost hope.
Yes.
They feel they are hopeless in everything.
Yes, and I think there might be a cause for loss of hope.
Yes, that's what could be the cause. Still, if you give us some more hit on that.
That is the question we put to government.
We put it to government because we don't. It is them to find out.
The question goes: are we safe? If someone reaches an extent of losing hope into his or her life, yes, Sebo, what do you think? How safe are we in our nation?
Thank you, moderator. The parliament approved $129 million for installation of CCTV cameras in Kampala and
Areas surrounding Kampala.
I'm going to come to that question. Are we safe? Of course, the installation of the installation of the CCTV camera program came as a result of some insecurity, that we had, that the country has been having, and that's why the president had to take it up with the Minister of Finance and Defense to have these CCTV cameras implemented on the streets and areas surrounding Kampala. There's no significant. They're not significant here. They haven't served the purpose. Okay, we are having post-mortem cameras that don't record things on real time. You have to go back and replay and get the culprits after like a month or 2 months or a week. Okay? What does it show? That's why I normally tell people that we need serious leaders. Okay, people who have Uganda at heart. Why should you bring up a program that is going to take a large portion of the taxpayers' money? That's going to be insignificant. Okay, we are not safe in this country. We are not safe. We have started to worry now. When such terrors happen, people like us start to worry, Ugandans. Okay, and the target will always be the youths. Believe me, you. If you look at the names that the president said on TV, and the age, my friend, these are our brothers. Oh my God, 30, 35 years. A person blowing himself off, a black person, first of the kind, has been first of the kind. It poses a very big question to the government and security. Something has to be done. Otherwise, this country will head to the dogs very soon.
That's your opinion also?
This is my opinion.
Yes.
Thank you, moderator. Are we safe in our beloved country, the Pearl of Africa?
It's no longer. I think it's no longer a pearl. It's something else.
It remains the Pearl of Africa, no matter the circumstances. I think we are safe. In our.
You think we or you are safe? Because me, I'm not safe.
I think we are safe.
You are safe.
I
You are
ascertain.
safe. Say you are safe.
No, I can't say me. I must look at the entire atmosphere of the country and tell and judge.
So the atmosphere is safe.
The atmosphere now is an atmosphere of fear.
Are we safe then?
Yes, we are safe.
You are safe.
Why is the atmosphere a fearful one?
You see, the last incident that happened, the bombing, the twin bombing, causes fear in human beings, okay? All the people surrounding that area. But we must accept and believe it is on record. It is on record that our security forces in Uganda are one of the best security forces.
Who recorded that?
Go and Google.
No, tell us, who recorded that?
You Google.
Why should I
Do you know why?
Hmm.
Our agencies of Uganda, our security agencies have been employed to different states to ensure security. And it has done a very good job. Okay? So, such an incident is to shaken the current government, to shaken the lives of Ugandans. Such an incident is a cowardly incident because terrorists, once they fail to reach their mission, they decide to go in a wrong way. Let's kill. Since we've failed, let's harm the people around us. Maybe that is when they will hear.
But do you think what could be the cause? Why are all things happening that they're happening? To your personal opinion.
You know, you can never know a terrorist's opinion, why he's terrorizing people.
But what do you think when they've lost hope, they start killing?
I don't want to think for terrorists because I don't.
You don't have that terror mind?
No, I don't want to think for them because to think for a terrorist, you must be a terrorist or yourself, or you must be. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
So I think Ugandans, we are safe. Let us have hope. Let us not lose hope. It is not the first time in our country, Uganda, we faced such a thing. But things have normalized. So let us have hope. It has happened and it is bad. It is disheartening. But let's have hope. Let's not lose it. I think we are safe. Let's still have the hope.
I seek to interject,
you know,
Mr. Moderator.
Yes.
So
You see,
I feel just a moment. I feel let's encourage the Ugandans out there. Let's encourage the youth to, when you see something suspicious in such a time, report it. Don't leave it to the security agencies. Security starts with you and I. Okay? So I highly believe we are safe.
Yes, interjection.
Why I think, in my opinion, I think to a certain extent, I'm not safe or we are not safe, me and him and other people, is it draws back to the incident of General Katumba, AIGP, Kawesi, Chigundu,
other Muslims that have been killed.
And other Muslim clerics that have been killed. My question is, if a full general who has been the CDF of this country can be attacked,
I will also pose a question for
his
you
daughter
on that.
killed,
I will also pose a question for you on that.
and the police does investigations, it fails, they tell us they have gotten a few culprits, but it does not give us a conclusive report. And then when the blasts happen, they tell us that the people involved in the blasts are the same people that attacked Katumba. That means that even when you arrested a few people who you say you arrested, then you didn't arrest all. And that puts our security on question. Because if we can send troops to Somalia or DRC Congo or those other countries to ensure peace and unity in those nations, and we are failing to protect our own citizens here in Uganda, then that means our security is lacking.
I will interject, Mr. Moderator.
Yes, interject.
Yes, thank you, Richard and Roderick and Anita. You know, issues of security are issues of the issues I don't always wish to
discuss.
But who am I not to discuss them? When our country is
bleeding,
he's heading to the dogs day in day out,
and they are affecting you,
and they are affecting me. So these are the questions that our kids will have to ask us.
What did you about this?
What did our parents do
to secure the nation?
The same questions we ask our
fathers.
Our fathers, what did they do? Why did you have to reach to this level? But anyway, issues of security, the responsiveness, the amount of pressure we mount the government. Unfortunately, they also succumb to it. Me, I will not agree with Richard where said that investigations take time, take long. Okay, if they take long, and after that longevity, a report comes in, a conclusive report comes in.
But we have no
and
conclusive
concluded,
reports.
Yes, that's what the problem now is. Okay, with the longevity of the process, I'm okay with it. But the results, okay, we are having issues being investigated that date back even 15 years ago. Whenever a terror attack and they get a culprit, they say this one is linked to the murder that happened on this date. Who killed this? So this one and the other one. You understand? I was reading the statement from the Minister of Defense. The ADF terrorists that they have are linked to the same people who murdered Katumba.
Katumba's daughter.
Who also murdered Kawesi. So you understand? In one or another, they give reports, yes, of security terrorists, but you find that the same people they are bringing to book, they are linking them with other cases, other criminal cases. You understand? So with the longevity, it's okay as long as the results are satisfying.
Okay.
Yes, but there's no need of taking long to investigate an incident that happened 5 years ago. Okay, then you do it for 15 years.
And you
Then in the process you get another one. Okay. The same guys who bombed Kampala on Tuesday are the same guys who wanted to bomb.
Who says that?
The security command. It's all over the media. That the guys who bombed Kampala were the same guys who had planned to bomb people during locations. What?
Then the question comes in: who is who is the right person to give the final word?
No, there is panic. There is panic.
Who is panicking?
The government is panicking.
Who is forcing them?
We are forcing them, and they are succumbing to
the pressure.
To the pressure, which I think is unprofessional. Why should they?
Do you mean we should not force them to give us reports?
You force them, but let them take their time. We don't need false.
Okay,
we don't need
let me give an example.
It is our obligation as citizens,
Yes.
who are binding citizens,
Yes.
to have a report from them.
From them, but
So they are succumbing to our pressure because they are failing to give us a report which you're concurring with.
That's what the problem is. They are succumbing to our pressure. Yes, they're supposed to give reports. I was telling you, when this incident occurred on Tuesday, I was watching it closely on the news. You could hear a presenter say, "Where is this minister to come and say something? Where is Onanga? What is the metropolitan spokesperson to come and say what? To come and deceive us?" So should they come?
But since Kawesi's incidents,
Yes.
since Paul Okech's incidents, since General Katumba Wamala, since Chigundu,
Yes.
they have not given us any conclusive
That's where the
report.
problem
Do you
is.
know why?
For how long will they search?
Interjection.
That's where the problem is.
Do you know why they have not given a conclusive report? Because the investigations are still ongoing.
For how many years those people are killed?
There is a saying,
And who says it?
I heard it from my brother, Minister of ICT. Chris Baliomunsi, Honorable Chris Baliomunsi.
Your father,
He's not my father.
your grandfather.
He's a friend of mine. He's a friend of mine.
The one who is in the age of 70, 60?
No matter the age, he remains a friend, a mentor. He said, there was a statement he mentioned. The eye sees what it knows. You know what that statement means? If the eye sees this, then it knows it's a pen. Okay? If the pen is not there, I will not mention it. All right? So the investigations are going. They have taken so long. They have made people believe that they threw it in the trash can.
Do you trust their reports that they bring every time?
They're experts.
The
They
question.
They're experts.
Do you trust their reports?
You were doctor, my moderator.
Yes.
I have a problem with my throat. If you examined me right now, why wouldn't I trust your information about my problem?
Because there is a feeling, there is a relation between what they've written and to you.
And
But-
his profession.
Exactly.
Experience.
His experience. So the reports the government officials are to give, there is a relationship between the reports they're supposed to give and on who they are experienced. They know it more than us. We are out to remain patient, but keep pressurizing them to give us the reports. Like my brother said, we don't need to put them on too much pressure to come and lie to us. Okay? They have delayed on such incidences. They have delayed, yes. And I think they are still doing the proper investigations. At the point T, they will come out and give correct information to Ugandans.
Can I interject?
Yes.
Because this whole thing of delaying the investigations, it has brought about some perception, people's perception on the security forces. The people have started bringing up theories against the security forces because they no longer trust them. The people are not, yes, the people are no longer being updated on what is taking place.
I quoted the word theory.
Yes.
Are they right theories?
No, I'm saying
No one knows.
No one
They can
knows,
either be
because-
right or
Or
wrong.
wrong. So let's wait for the right information.
When?
till when.
You can't tell. You can't tell when. We ought to be patient.
Me, I think
for the right information.
my
to
brother,
come.
I think to interject and say and advise accordingly, the government shouldn't take our being patient for granted and use it as a reason of not giving us reports.
Exactly.
As law-abiding citizens, as citizens who trust in our nation and in our leaders, let them always come out and give us every bit of report.
Bottom
For
line.
example, I actually want to attribute and thank the late General Okech. What he had started, you see that because of the pressure that had been mounted on police, he made sure that after a week he came out to give us a report on Katumba's what?
Yes, yes.
Shooting, on the people who had been arrested, why they had been arrested, and then show the public a footage of whatever had been happening, though it at some point was showing that the police wasn't serious.
Okay.
But he came out, and now that is the pressure we are trying to put on police to show us, to give us a report, conclusive reports
Yes.
on whatever is happening on our security.
That's very.
This will bring about a situation where you find people no longer trust the security forces. Even the information they disclose, you find that people don't trust it because they have delayed.
Because you see people say, we lost a very big person in police, and that was General Okech. Because of what he had been putting, the direction he had been driving police to. If police can come out, you might not have, by the way, a conclusive report on something that has happened, but you can come out and update people that in regard to the investigations we are doing, and this is so far, these are the people who have arrested, this is the information they have given us.
But
all
not
they
telling
write
us
in-
these are the people so far you killed.
all they write in papers and all they put out is that, you see, this is a very security sensitive issue.
We have shot
We are
them.
not going to release the names of the people who have been arrested. We are not going to give the details of what is happening. Then
But information comes that they have arrested some people.
it
But-
is hearsay.
Is it
that-
proved?
Is it proved?
The question: do you still
So is it
trust?
proved that they have not?
Okay, as me, because I have not been given the information, I will stand on my two legs and say, yeah, they have not arrested anyone. Because right now the information
You
we
see,
have and all
under what
Ugandans,
You see, Mr. Rodriguez, acting on pressure is very bad. It's very bad. True.
And is this a security?
No,
Very
no,
also-
in the process, you want to prove to the nation that you're doing your job.
Exactly.
You understand? Yeah, you want to prove to us that you're doing your job. Yet you're giving us wrong what?
information.
Then
Members, I'll take you back.
let
Allow
us give
me-
them time.
allow me
Let
to
us
take you
give
back.
them
Let them
time
take
to
us
give
back.
us the right
Allow me
information.
take you back. Allow me to take you back. This is not the first time we are having we've had bombers
Blast.
blast, and it's not the first time to hear about ADF. Since 1997, there have been a challenge to us.
Exactly.
You understand? In the bombings of
Chadon.
Chadon and Ethiopian village, it's on record. It's on record. 8 of my friends were arrested. just because they are Arabs.
And they were later
And
acquitted.
they had
Beards.
Beards like yours.
just like
Just
yes,
like you.
just like mine.
Eh.
You understand? 8 of them were poor boys, just because the pressure mounted on security. Okay.
So
Now,
the pressure sent them to
started-
go and
this is what they did.
arresting everybody
This-
with beards.
This is what they did. They got them and arraigned them. Call press, they arraigned them that these are the suspects. My friend, 8 of my friends were arrested.
Have we,
Last week, I received so many calls.
this week actually.
This week. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, people telling me to go and trim my beard. Some were joking, but
Some were
not
serious.
joking.
Because even I saw some people running away
Yes,
from town.
Someone, let me tell you something. Even my mother
Asked you.
called me and told me, "Go and trim off your beard." I'm like, "Mommy, what's wrong with my beard?" Because they're going to start looking for you. What have I done? What have I done?
Maybe the
So that's where
they keep bombs in the beard. maybe.
that's where we are going.
By the way,
And you see how
You've brought a very good point. Have we ever got a report on the Chadondo and Ethiopian village bombing? Have we ever had a conclusive report?
it died a natural death.
Because you can realize that even some people who were arrested then,
Yes.
like this happens,
Yes.
were later acquitted.
So, my friends were acquitted because they were innocent. They called the press and arraigned them. These are the suspects. You understand? Some had to even flee the country.
It goes back. Do we still trust our security agencies in Uganda?
Let them. They should make us trust them. But what they are doing now?
How?
No, I mean,
They should put up ways of how they can...
get straight to the point.
Okay, you as youth frontliners, what could be the way forward? How would you advise the government?
Let them
because
let the security, let them,
because the Uganda we are seeing, it's nearby. It's just maybe somewhere.
let police get to the point. Such things happen. Let them take their time. Let them employ personnel that know how to do their jobs. I was watching one politician one time. In his submissions on air, he said, "It's only in Uganda, where you find a best student in police, a best student at the police training college."
Best student in what?
No, basically because those are courses. When you enroll, when they take you up, you do courses. Those are courses, police courses. When you go for training, they have best students. Yeah? Yeah? So he was telling us that it's only in Uganda where you find the best student who has excelled more than the colleagues in training. Yes, he's given a rank of SSP, but he's a bodyguard. They make him a bodyguard. They don't
Utilize his...
they don't
The
utilize
skill.
the skill.
And-
Okay, you find someone is good at martial arts and whatnot, but you're giving him
You're making him a bodyguard.
an office job. You know, a traffic officer, making him a traffic officer. So he said that it's only in Uganda where you find that best students in forces. You understand? This one has been good in this, and they are not given to perform what they are best at. Okay. So, sometimes I even presume maybe the investigator that we are having in forces, maybe perhaps that it's in their field. It's supposed to be somewhere else. Maybe. Thank you.
Speaking of personnel to be employed, this week, I think it is this week when the police, the Uganda police resurrected the flying squad to check
Yes.
the terror activities.
Yes.
So
That shows they are trying. They are trying to calm the situation. So, however much we are supposed to be patient with them, they should also act like at a high speed, I can say,
okay, they should
so
work
that
at
we
high.
can get answers.
You see, I'm going to give you an example. For example, when you go to the airport, when you're entering that waiting lobby, oh, this guy is leaving, you realize that the checking there is thorough. Regardless whether you are an officer, whether you're what, you'll have to remove your belt, remove your wallet, every metallic thing. take it through the machine. But go in Kampala here, these buildings, they no longer care about what someone enters with, how someone has come. It is not until a blast goes off that now security agency panics.
Panic.
And it's like, now we have to tighten up our security.
Yes.
If you,
What is the flying squad?
with
Bring
the
back
flying,
the flying squad.
yeah, if the flying squad had been into play,
Okay, then
our president should know that some of his sectors are now in sleeping mode.
They're lacking.
advise.
And there are people out here who are ready to work for those security agencies and change. The youth they are blaming to be terrorists. Do you know why most youth are being blamed for being terrorists?
Because they're jobless.
Because they are jobless.
Moderation.
Because they are idle. So
I
if
want
you
to
go out,
interject.
me I'm sure there are youths out there in the ghettos who can even be more security effective than some of these security personnel who are there sleeping.
Mr. Richard, let me enlighten you on something. One, easier said than done.
Okay.
You know what it means?
Tell
Please
us.
explain.
Easier said than done. I'm quoting his words. There are people out here,
The youths.
the youth who can do the security better than the ones that are in the offices.
But they have not been given a chance.
Not been given. My friend, it is not wake up because you think you can do better, you go and do. No. You must be in the line of being trained. You must be experienced. You must be someone who understands the art.
I seek to interject,
Okay.
Mr.
Let him-
Moderator.
let him first finish.
Not everyone. I love the security. Okay, I love to be in the security forces. But it doesn't mean I know how to do the security. You get what I'm saying? I need to study, finish, go through the right channels, get enrolled, start to do the work.
That is where Ugandans will go wrong.
Okay?
That is
we don't
where
go
Ugandans
wrong
will
because
go
we
wrong.
follow the steps.
Do you know why the whites are far out ahead of us?
Why do we have to compare?
No. I'm giving you because they are. Yeah, we have to accept the fact that they are far ahead of us. Okay,
But we
I'm going to
can
give
do-
you an
but we
example.
can- we
I'm
can
going to
develop
give.
country.
I'm going to give you an example of Nigeria. Nigeria is an Africa is a country of blacks. In Nigeria, they have a policy that everyone who finishes in these higher institutions of learning has to go for a 1-year security course
Like South
but
Korea.
Uganda
to be
has
tested.
Even in Rwanda, but
Even
Rwanda is-
Uganda
In these countries,
Uganda has it.
it's
You
a
don't know?
mandatory. In these countries,
No,
it's a mandatory policy.
in Uganda it's optional.
Mr. Ramutemba and Anis,
No,
and
Uganda it
when
was
you-
not optional. In the schools I went to, once you finish senior 6,
in
you had
In
Which
Uganda,
in
Uganda.
I wanted to
names
be
reserved.
factual. Which, no,
Names reserved.
No problem.
Once you finish, you had to be enrolled to Chankwazi for training, patriotism
that
training.
means that those are a few schools.
At school,
My example I'm
few.
giving, it is a policy
Not
in
the
the
school I
country.
went to,
Not a
down
school
there,
he went
down
to.
there in
Not a school I went to.
in the
Not a
village.
school she went to. You don't know his. You see why these countries do such things. When you take someone under 1-year training, you will know his capabilities. You'll be like, hey, but this person, even if he joins the army or police, or he doesn't,
Yes.
but he's capable of being a good security officer.
Yes.
That's why I was telling you, let the government give opportunity to omuntu wa wansi, even that person omuntu wa wansi, to test and see his capabilities in taking part. To be actually, do you know how that helps? Even if I go for a 1-year course in these security courses, even if I don't become a police officer,
It doesn't matter.
even if I don't become
That's
an
how we
officer,
have Pan-African.
but I will be conscious with my security.
But
If I'm
do
at
you
my
want to
home
tell me- do you
and
want to
he's
tell
my
me-
neighbor and he's attacked,
Do you want to tell
I
me
want to
that
wait for police to take
since-
action.
Since he has not been there, so you're not security conscious?
There are those tactics I lack.
So you
There are those techniques
Yes,
and
there are
tactics
things-
I lack, which I won't have gotten from the security school.
but you're free to go there. She mentioned that it
Between
is-
me and
it is-
you-
She mentioned
Between me and
supposed
you,
to be mandatory.
haven't you wanted
It
to
is-
enter
it
security
is-
agency?
it's
before?
supposed to be
No,
mandatory.
I
But
agree
she
with
says-
you.
but she
Between-
says-
he says-
she says it's optional.
in Uganda,
For
but in
it,
other
in Uganda,
countries it's
then opt
mandatory.
for it.
Don't you know the rules and regulations that govern it?
Security starts with you.
No,
Okay?
yeah.
Don't wait for someone to push you. If it is optional, go follow the steps.
Lord Brick,
Get
you're
No,
missing
it-
a point.
there-
You're
there-
missing
there are
a
two
point.
things.
Mr.
Let's
Mr.
be on the
Moderator.
on same page. The
Let's-
question is, how safe are we in terms of this bomb blast in the nation?
We are not
We are
safe.
We are not
And
safe.
who is
We are-
responsible?
We are not
We are
safe
safe in
because
what way?
government is
We are
not
safe
putting it
in what
into
way?
We are
play.
not safe.
Listen, we are safe in what way? When the bomb blast happened, the first one was at 10 minutes, 3 minutes past 10 a.m. The second one happened 6 minutes.
3 minutes.
The first one was 3 minutes.
What I mean, the second,
The,
bomb-
the difference was
the
3
time
minutes.
interval between the bomb.
Yes. So 6 minutes past 10 a.m. there was a second bomb blast. The security agencies, wherever they were, quickly reacted to this.
How?
They were at the scene. They were seen helping people.
Let me
Listen, wait. They were seen helping people from the scene.
I seek to
Listen,
interject.
wait, Mr. Moderator.
You see,
You are protected.
Protect me.
You-
Protect me. I hit my point, and
Yes.
then they interject me.
You are protected, sir.
Thank you. They were seen at the scene helping the people, putting out fires, sending people to hospitals. Immediately, an investigation started to go on. Shortly within the same day, there was a man who was intercepted and found with a third bomb. Okay? That shows you that the people in Nansan, where that man was caught, was secured. Okay? These are not gods, my friend.
They
These
are-
security
they are not.
agents are not gods. They are human beings like you and I.
True.
Okay?
But claimed
So-
that one that was also a police officer.
Who?
That one was found in Nansan.
That's a lie. Where did you hear that from?
Didn't you see him dressed in police?
Moderator, can I interject?
No, I am
Please
still
do.
hitting
I
my
said I
point.
thought
I'm still
I
hitting
thought for
my point.
interjection
No,
before.
no.
I thought
No,
for interjection
listen.
before
Mr.
on his
Moderator,
matter.
no,
Do
Mr.
you know
Moderator,
why?
I am still hitting my point. Your
Just a
question-
minute.
I want to come back to your question.
No, but you need
Your
to be
question-
interjected.
Yes, I'm coming.
Allowed to be interjected.
I
Allowed to
am
be
coming.
interjected.
No.
No, allowed to be
Okay,
interjected.
you interject.
His question-
Please accept.
Wait,
Let's
his question.
no,
Let me
no,
first
ma-
answer the question.
Mr.
Then we
Moderator,
continue.
Mr. Moderator,
Okay,
let me answer the question.
why I was seeking
Pause,
interjection, there is a clip. This is first-hand information. There is a clip on media where a civilian is seen asking a police officer, "Can you put out that fire?"
What do you want the police to
And
do?
the police officer said, "What do you want police to do?"
Listen.
And then you're not allowing civilians to go and put out the fire. And not
Listen, Mr.
until
Moderator.
the civilians, the layman comes out with a fire extinguisher, and he's actually stopped by a police officer. Because do you know why all that is happening?
Mr.
The
Moderator.
car that is supposed to put off fire,
It was still far.
it was fire. It had
Mr.
late to
Moderator.
come.
Mr.
So,
Moderator. I am telling you.
Okay, let
telling
him
you
first
about-
point his point.
Hey, you see, this security officer, I'm sorry, I don't know what was wrong with that man, by the way.
The question is, are we safe?
That's
the
the
question.
question. Are we safe?
We are safe. No, Ugandans. I want.
No, if
I
the
want,
police-
I want to stand. I want to talk to Ugandans out there that are listening. Uganda is safe.
How?
Let us not lose hope. Let us not be manipulated and made to think that it is the end. It is not the end. In 1997, the bombings were there. If he talks about it, that means he was there. He is safe up to today. He is alive.
Do you know how I
Despite the
survived?
fact
Do you know how many relatives he has
Despite
lost
the fact
in
that
the
he was
process.
in the process?
when a bombing happens, you must be expectant to lose lives, even when we don't want to lose lives. Okay? But when an attack like that happens, it is meant to make people die.
That is why we are asking government.
Okay? So I want to urge the government, don't be put on pressure by citizens that quickly want response. However, give the citizens the right information within a stipulated time and encourage the citizens to know that the country they are in is theirs and they can continue to live in a humble and peaceful way.
Moderator,
Yes.
moderator. You know, I normally like to look at issues double-sided. I don't always like to be fed. Okay, I need to. This is my analysis, and I own my analysis.
Yes.
You are accountable.
I'm according to my analysis.
Your personal opinion.
Yes.
Mm.
So, did you see how these bombs were placed at Parliament? Like seriously, did you see how these bombs were
Positioned.
Were positioned? So should you say these guys are amateur?
No, they know what they are doing.
They're amateur bombers.
No.
Yeah. Two. There's a bomb I saw at it was packed in
In a gift bag
a Valentine's gift bag,
at Coach Towers.
and it was placed
At the
at the most critical point,
power source.
and that is the power source. But that one didn't brew.
Like a balloon.
But the one that brew, you understand? So should we say it was these guys are very stupid? They didn't want the
one for the transform.
because if that one had brown,
They will still be on
if that one
fire.
had brown, but it didn't.
You see the funny
I'm
thing
coming.
about
I'm
terrorists?
coming.
Interjection.
You will
interjected
protect me,
me.
sir.
Okay, let
Protect me.
You
bring your
interjected
lamp.
me.
But
You see the funny thing with terrorists?
I didn't interject you.
He's
They
protected.
stopped
Okay.
me. Let me first conclude my point. You understand? So. Should we presume that they never wanted to borrow the transformer? Just many questions here we need to ask ourselves. Even the question itself about these threats is unanswered. The Minister of Defense says they are what? They are ADF. Now we see ISIS.
Saying that we are responsible.
Okay,
That is-
I'm concluding.
that is the
I'm
point.
concluding, Mr. Rodney.
Let him
Yes.
conclude.
I'm concluding. ISIS is claiming responsibility.
Yeah. And
Okay.
it has put it into writing.
But here our Minister of Defense is saying, and other security forces is saying that they are what?
They are ADF.
So which is which?
Now
Whom
let
should
me
we
give you an
trust?
answer. Let me give you an answer for that.
As who?
As a political analyst, a
Okay.
young political analyst.
Okay.
Okay. ISIS put up a statement and owned the
Responsibility.
Ugandan explosion
Mm.
in the capital. The security agencies of Uganda say it is ADF. One, ADF is, in our law, it is known to be a terrorist group. Okay?
Even ISIS.
Even ISIS. Two, an ADF member was on video confirming and owning the terror attack.
I've not seen that.
I've not
video.
seen that.
Seen that video.
Listen, I am coming. The minister in charge
We seek
of
to be served.
security,
We seek to be served with that video.
We seek to be served so that we are well aware.
We are well
the
aware.
I will send you to Major General retired Jim Muhwezi to give you that video. Okay?
So it is a hearsay.
No, it is not a hearsay.
You saw the video.
I'm coming.
Did you personally see the
I am
video?
coming.
Did
I
you
am
personally see the
coming.
video?
Mr. Moderator.
You see,
No, it's
Please,
protected.
yes.
Eh.
Okay.
So the ADF, one of its members owns it. ISIS owns it. The question in play is supposed to be, are these two in conjunction and working together? Not to streamline and say, no, it is the ADF. What if they are working together?
Okay, who's lying who?
What if?
Who is
what
lying
if?
who?
Who's
That's the
lying
question.
who?
No. We are not supposed to be looking at who is lying who.
No, we need to.
Ugandan
we need
government,
You
Ugandan
see-
government is supposed to be looking at handling both of them.
You see,
You see,
at the
Mr.
go.
this is where I come in.
Mr.
because
Moderator.
Uganda,
Let him finish.
because the Ugandan government can. The security of Uganda can handle both ISIS and ADF
But
at a go.
it has failed
It has
too.
failed.
But
How
because-
sure it has failed?
Because they are bombing
Now let me
in the
tell you.
city.
How
The
many
que-
have
By
been
the way, the question
convicted
is,
of
Mr.
being
Moderator,
terrorists
Just hold
and
on.
Mr. Moderator,
Hold on.
Mr. Moderator, I seek to interject a little bit. You see, a month or two back, the US government gave us a notice. It is everywhere in newspapers
But
that
we
these
learned.
guys were warning us
So you wanted
to be conscious.
You wanted us
You
to
get
do what?
our
Start
security
running on the street.
agencies should have taken action there and then.
Did you listen
It
to
is
the
quite
president's
absurd.
statement?
It is quite absurd.
Did you
that
read the
it is
president's
quite
statement?
absurd. It is quite absurd that a nation like US comes out to warn you,
And,
and then you
the
don't care
response-
about what you don't give a good response
Who
on
is-
that,
Who is the US?
and then
Who is the US superpower?
and then the bomb goes off.
Even
If
our
they had
country is
warned us
superpower
and the
somewhere.
bombings have not happened,
Mr. Moderator.
Okay,
Mr. Moderator.
the concern is, hold on, the issue is, if ISIS is owning the bomb blasting in Kampala,
Yes, and
but
the government says
ADF has not yet confirmed.
No. Okay.
They're assuming.
Yes. The
Because-
question in play is supposed to be, is ISIS and ADF in working together?
What are they going to work together?
If the answer is not, if the answer has not yet been found, the government is supposed to put a keen eye on both ISIS and ADF.
the government
Then,
should come out
whom
to
should
give
we
us that
trust?
answer.
Whom should we
Moderator.
trust?
Moderator.
Hold on.
Why do you want? Why would you ask whom should we trust? Trust your country. Why would you want to think of?
Why
the
should
Has
we-
ADF?
failed.
It has
No
failed.
way.
That's
It
what
has not failed.
has
You know
failed.
why?
Because-
You know why? The Komamboga explosion was on 24th October, and the twin blasts were on 16th
November.
November. Between that period,
What
was-
was,
there was
has
nothing.
there been a
was
report?
done?
What is
Was
the
there a
report?
report
Was there a report
that
from
was
our
issued
security
to the public
agencies?
On
from
Komamboga.
On
the
Komamboga, on the
security?
Komamboga
No,
bombings?
I saw cartoon pictures. This is the cartoon pictures.
But Ugandans, we also play too much. That
They
is the
published.
problem.
But anyway, this is my point.
Hey,
We
There's another
make
point.
everything comedy.
Mr. Roderick,
Yes.
there's an issue I want us to look at very critically. These two guys who
Blew themselves.
yeah, the guys who blew themselves
The
with
suicide bombers.
suicide bombers. You know, after like 16 hours, the government had known their
Name.
identity and their names.
So do you want to tell me?
Should we presume? No, this is my question.
Would
This is
you
my
say
question.
it has failed?
This is my
If
question.
they can zero down
Hold
that
down,
information.
hold on. This is my question. This is panic, blood panic. So these bombers came with IDs, national IDs. You understand?
And
So
then when they blew,
and
and the IDs remained.
remained.
yet
You
it has
understand?
been a question.
Yeah.
Where did the Enanga
where is
get the names of those people?
This is classified
Moderator,
information.
I'm submitting.
Has Enanga? You know when things happen today, everyone asks, "Where is Enanga? What is he saying? What is the president?"
Because
saying?
now he's
What
also
is he
playing a
saying?
comedy maybe to people
You
sometimes.
see,
No.
we are, and actually we are in the,
If they have zeroed down,
How?
why do you need the how? That is classified.
From where?
You see-
When let me take you back into the history in the regime of Barack Obama in the US. When he was hunting down Bin Laden, how long did it take the US to get to Bin Laden?
you've brought,
That was listen,
you've brought a very good example
That
that, will
was-
take you down.
listen.
Very controversial.
It's not controversial. I am trying to hit the point of there are some things you're not supposed to, as long as results have been produced.
you see,
Listen to this.
you see,
Listen to
you
this.
see, I seek to interject.
When listen, let me talk
I-
about the Obama thing.
Not I a little bit seek to interject, then you can go on.
No.
Why I seek to interject? The issue of Osama bin Laden was put on camera.
And let me
For
come to
everyone,
you. Let me come
for
to you.
everyone,
I am coming.
for everyone to see what was happening.
Listen.
The security
Do you know when-
agencies
do you know
in
when
this
what-
nation
what was put on
have
camera
failed to
did-
know that we are in the .com era. For example, if they tell us that someone was suspected to be a bomber, ran after, got, shot, it is nowhere.
No.
You have
no.
not solved
We,
that
we have,
problem.
it is hearsay.
Mr. Richard. Mr.
You,
Richard.
they are panicking and they are
Mr.
trying to
Richard,
convince
let
us.
me
Mr.
get
Richard,
to my point.
You haven't answered. That was my point. By the way, you hijacked. You people hijacked my point. You hijacked my point. I was still asking you, my fellow frontliners. Let us be very critical.
And I wanted to answer you.
Let us be very analytical. Okay. Let us not. Let us not be easy to deceive.
Exactly.
Just take in anything that is said by the security forces. Realistically, I mean, how can you have a bomber? How can you identify people who have blown? Two people who have blown themselves.
How do you find
you come out and say it was Richard? The mother is this and this and this. I call that panic.
Can I ask a question?
I'm concluding. Then you take it up from there. Me, I still urge the government. We don't, because people start now asking questions. So should we presume that the government knows who the bombers are?
Because they immediately linked them to the Katumba's incident.
Should we presume that is it part? These are and if someone starts asking such questions, don't take him to be an enemy of the state.
Exactly.
Should we presume that the government is part of this bombing? Why the hurry? Take your time, do your research, come and feed us with the correct information. Otherwise, you're going to find critics. We will be there. We'll watch and
Why do you get into panic and shoot a suspect? Take him out of action. Yet you've not found enough information from him or her.
So should we say that Uganda police they don't follow the rules of law in Uganda?
Sometimes they don't.
Sometimes they don't.
Because
that person who was a suspected bomber ought to have been arrested. If the shooting was there,
they arrested him.
If the shooting was there, the police gave us a report.
Arrested him.
The police gave us a report that he was shot in the limb and died of overbleeding.
He said immediately.
Why didn't they take him for medical attention and they get information from him?
Transit. He died in transit.
They first investigated him when he was bleeding.
Yes, they had
Isn't that unprofessional?
No.
Isn't that unprofessional?
It's not said anywhere that they interrogated him.
Yeah.
I didn't read that anywhere. No
No
one said that they interrogated him.
Well, they say
the president mentioned that.
The president mentioned it,
In
but
his tweet.
Mr. Ramtemba, what I'm saying, isn't it unprofessional to interrogate a bleeding man who you know can die anytime without giving you information?
Why?
That is why we are tasking government. No, it is not about negotiating with government. It is not about negotiating with the terrorists.
No, they're not negotiating.
It is about getting information out of him.
Saying we should sympathize.
No. No one has. No one has said
his life.
His life.
He was interrogated as he was bleeding in transit to a medical center.
Which medical center?
Which closest medical center is there in Nasana?
There is Murago as you're coming from Nasana in Kawempe.
What if it was
At the end of the day, the point
But information is
the point
he died
is,
in
Mr. Roderick,
transit.
we are not sympathizing with
Terrorists.
we condemn that.
But we are saying government should have put a way
Yes.
of getting information that can help us secure our security the way we want it.
Perhaps if it was true,
Yeah.
if he was a terrorist.
He would have led us to
Because
other
there's
terrorists.
also that room of thinking maybe he was not.
But why say he was not yet? He was found with the...
We are presuming maybe.
You see,
But you can't say maybe because when his place was...
Did you
searched,
support
there
the
was an
act of Uganda
explosive.
police
Which
of
act?
killing a suspect.
of killing a suspect?
But they didn't kill him.
They did
Is
what?
this
They
there?
stopped him. They
And he died.
stopped him. Listen, there are two things at hand: killing and trying to stop you from resisting arrest. Uganda police shot him in the limb to resist.
In the leg, in the limb.
In the leg
They
was
said a limb.
That
Say
is
a
where
limb.
they were. Well, that is where he was shot.
Is it-
such that he
is
does
it-
not run anymore? He was not shot in the head or in the chest to die
Mr.
immediately.
Ramtemba, does
Okay?
it make sense
So-
to you?
so he
eh?
was
Does it make sense to you
stopped.
when police comes out and says, we've seen very many people being shot in the limbs and they survive?
He was the unfortunate
My
one.
main point of argument
He
here
was the
is,
unfortunate one.
if the police had already shot the suspect of the twin bombings which had killed several people's lives, it should have taken the responsibility of taking this person to hospital, stop the bleeding, then interrogate him.
But he was in transit
This is
to
a
a medical
national
center.
security
This is a national security
Yes,
matter, Mr.
but
Roderick.
you-
This is not
there's
a
something
matter
you're
you
not
handle like,
understanding.
you're not
Mr. Richard.
handling this person like someone who has stolen a
Mr.
goat.
Richard, he is not
It's not a
understanding.
classroom matter.
Yeah, it's not a classroom
Mr.
matter.
Teacher and
By the way, police does things
Yes, you're not
sometimes, they
understanding
put
what-
them on air, and I'm like,
Yes.
why are these guys acting so
I
unprofessional?
am telling you that this man was in transit to a medical center.
Okay?
Where is that written, Mr. Roderick?
You were a lawyer.
The police has
By the
not
time you sit
classified on
this
that.
panel, you must have done all that research.
Anyway, this is my point. Eh?
I've been reading news,
All that
I've
is
been
brought about
reading
to-
articles.
But
It is not written anywhere.
All that, what you're discussing here is brought about panic.
Exactly.
That panic mode.
That is why I'm asking you, was the act... By the way, we are only looking at one thing, scenario of Nasana, but there is a scenario of Makindi, of this gentleman, Chirevu. Yeah? He was also put out of action. He wasn't given the chance to maybe give us information and say, you know, I'm working with ABCD. And I'm 100% sure that government has capacity to interrogate someone and get information out of him.
At any time.
At any time.
So the issue of
It goes back asking ourselves, are we safe?
Yes, we are safe.
Because
in our country.
this takes us back.
Maybe you are safe at home.
This takes us back to the
Doesn't
issue.
matter, you're still in the country.
This
you're
takes
safe.
us. Takes us back to the issue of Alan Sewanyana, Honorable Alan Sewanyana, and Segrinya. They have been detained because the police tells us they are still interrogating them. You get?
But
if
even-
they have managed to
you know,
interrogate them for this long,
the question-
and they are trying to get information from, because they say they are linked to the Bijambia in Masaka,
and the Vijambia is also linked to ADF.
and the Bijambia is linked to ADF. Why don't they use the same method of detaining the suspects they have and get information out of them, other than killing them?
Let me tell you, my biggest challenge I'm facing into this is that
By the way, police should come out and show us that we have shot died. Do you know one of the reasons they don't even show us the parts that have been shot is because they don't want to be ashamed of their unprofessional acts.
I'll leave that one aside. It seems my challenge is, where did they get their IDs after?
It is a question that I've posed to Mr. Roderick.
But I was trying to answer it. I was trying to answer it.
Maybe it seems they left their IDs to Uganda.
Mr. Roderick is becoming defensive
To the government.
I am not being defensive to the government. Listen.
Roderick, hold on. We are all Ugandans.
And we'll have our
Issues
nation.
of security.
We leave them to the journals.
No, issues of security affect everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
We are discussing
We shall not sit back
the
and watch
incidents
our
of,
brothers die.
of the bombing because we survived. But we don't know whether we shall survive the next one.
Exactly.
We don't know the next front line, how many members will come here.
Are we safe then?
So let us call a spoon and a spade.
A spade.
Yeah.
But let's not call a spoon a big
Okay,
spade.
let me outline myself. When you say I'm becoming defensive of the government, that is wrong. Let me outline myself.
Okay,
I see the people protected.
in a minute.
In a minute. So issues of security. Let us condemn the government
Where need to be.
Yes.
I will also condemn. We shall also condemn
The act.
the act. The act is really
It's evil. It's uncalled for.
Mayhem.
devilish. I mean, now can yeah. So where the government where government has faulted, we fault them on that. And where they have where they score a D1, we shall give them a D1. Okay.
Let me outline myself.
I love the way President Museveni handles security matters. If you see him addressing and you get his speech on security and you compare it with the spokesperson of maybe of JAT or UPDF or this or Venanga, you may think we are living in a different world.
Different world.
The three, President and his people, his spokespersonals in security are living in two separate worlds. You understand? The issue of this panic, I don't see. I don't find a reason why the government should panic.
Let me outline myself.
To give false information. You understand? I don't see, up to now. I don't see the reason.
Okay,
Mr.
I was
Moderator,
almost concluding to this point. Yes.
let me outline myself. He said I'm becoming defensive. Okay? I am not being defensive of the government. Okay? But we must call a spoon, not a spade. Okay? We must accept that the twin bombing was mayhem a cowardly act by the terrorists, an act that we pray does not happen again. Okay? We must also accept that the government, in its capacity, reacted to the situation, and it was able to make to convince the public that we are handling the situation. That is why we have citizens in the town again. People are not home, they are in the town. Where the bombings happen, people are there.
They have
Okay.
nothing to do.
Listen,
they have to look for food, my
They have
brother.
no
Yes, but
alternative.
They have no alternative.
The alternative is there. The alternative is there.
Is what?
Is what?
I am coming. That's a story for another day. But
Not today.
not today.
Okay, sir.
But the citizens, even when something of the sort has happened, let us accept that there is a fault the government has done or the security agency has done. Okay? It is there. But this is not the time to look at the faults. It is the time to advise the government on what to do. It is the time to work hand in hand with the government. I was so bitter with the Frontline. I watched the Frontline. I was so bitter with the Lord Mayor, Elias Lukwago. I don't know. He's a lawyer. He's a very good man. He's articulate. But I don't know what happened to him on the other day's Frontline.
Why?
He should have been a member of the a leading fraternity. He should have been one of the people advocating that if this has happened this way, let us do this, let us do this. Advise the government on what to do, not pinpoint it, don't politicize everything. People are dying and you want to put politics in it. No.
Okay.
If the government has gone wrong in one way, we ought, as citizens, we ought to advise it.
To take the right direction.
To take the right direction. So
Okay.
I'm not being defensive of it.
Okay.
I'm just trying to
Yeah,
look at
Mr.
things the way they
Moderator.
are.
Yes.
Mr. Moderator.
As you're concluding on that.
In my concluding remarks on that point, the other day I was discussing with a few friends and a few colleagues, and our main point of emphasis was: do you think these terrorists are amateurs? Do you think they are stupid? Because when you see Kampala as the heart of our nation, it has places which are over congested, full of people.
Why did they go to school?
Owino, Chikubo. Why do you think they came to CPS? Why do you think they came to Parliamentary Avenue? This was an alert call to government that tried to screw up your security agency. Because if I can attack CPS, then is Chikubo safe? That takes us back to the question you asked us, that is our nation secure or safe? We are not safe. Because if you can blow up CPS, Central Police Station is what we are talking about. If you can blow up a place near Parliament, then that means we are not safe at all.
We are not safe at all.
And government needs to work on that. It needs to do something in our security agencies. So I call upon the government.
You as the
And
frontliners.
the government officials and the security agencies out there, please, let's be security conscious. Let's emphasize the point of security between the citizens and the security agencies.
Let it begin with us, with me and you.
It
Before we
is
start to
possible
run.
it can begin with me, but
are
the response
are
of
youth being
police,
given a chance to?
the youth should be given a chance to take part in these security agencies, to be fully, partly taking part in these security
No, I think
activities.
we need to somebody to make us understand that we have to we own this country. But it seems this country is being owned by some other people.
That is why you see it is becoming very hard when you want to join security now.
They ask you where do you come from. Are you from this? No. Are you from this region?
Technicalities that
Get my
won't
point.
allow you to join.
So they should.
Moderator, in my concluding remarks about this topic, a statement has been made, okay, and it has a writing has been written on the wall. Not a big writing. Attacking Parliament and CPS. they wanted to make a statement, and
They were sending a message.
A message has been received. Now it's upon
Government.
the security agencies. Now, this is where I urge the government, as a youth frontliner. A message has been delivered, a statement has been made. So it's upon the government now to organize your forces, and see how you can counter what happened last week, and devise means of avoiding the same an occurrence of the same. To the politicians, you know, also politicians are the biggest problem of Uganda. This is not the incidence of the bombs.
It's not an issue.
It's not a time to politicize it.
It's not an issue where you should seek mileage. Okay? Mr. Rodrick is disappointed with some of the politicians.
The Lord Mayor.
Mayor, very disappointed. This is not the
Let us
time.
condemn an act of
Terrorism.
Let us condemn it. Don't ride on it to build your popularity and
To seek cheap popularity.
and political mileage.
Okay. And what's the conclusion on this?
In my conclusion,
Our safety in this nation.
the citizens or the people of Uganda should also be sensitized on the most appropriate cautious measures to be taken by them. For example, they talked about the issue of bags. You're not supposed to carry a bag of which you don't know the contents in the bag. Plus, even if you're suspicious of any person around you, you can maybe report to the nearest
Police.
police.
Then you trust the police.
Yes, and the government, because this issue is going to affect the economy of Uganda, the tourism industry,
It's now dead.
the investments. People are not coming, the foreigners are not going to come and invest in a country that is, because
Politically unstable.
it is not stable.
Yep.
We are not safe. Because recently the US Embassy, I think on 16th, it issued a security alert. Saying
And
that
Frederick Enanga said
that
we are
Uganda
security.
is not safe at the moment.
Can you imagine?
And it is not.
That is affecting the what? The
They-
tourism industry.
Yes.
The tourists who are coming in, or even the foreigners who are coming to
And
invest
you can
in
imagine
Uganda.
we are going in this festive
So
season.
I think the investigations should be done quickly, though not on pressure, because if they panic, they may end up giving contradictory statements.
But since you are born, you admitted me. How many reports have you had from police? And they conclude, since, let's be realistic. So for all our viewers, the question is, are we safe in our nation? There are those who still believe that the country is safe. But how can it be safe when our people are dying? It's because it is safe some people, because they never lost one of their relatives into that. But even on top of that, what should the government do? How are we advising? So all the words and the statements we've heard from the youth frontliners, they are trying to put away. The government should borrow a leaf. That security is not all about having the gun with them in the stores. Security, but to me, I think it has a sign that they're showing to the government. So to those who are responsible, the office is responsible for research, go for further research. Why bombing now in Kampala? Why is it happening right now?
I want to talk about something. Because even that issue of explosives, how are these explosives coming into the country? Because we expect the UPDF and the police and all that to be the only entities to be in possession of firearms or maybe that. Where are the materials coming from to manufacture these explosives? Are they being manufactured in Uganda? Where are they coming from? And why are these people doing this? What is their intention and what is their motive? What do they want?
Okay.
That is what the security agencies should look into.
Okay. In the next 5